Welcome back to my channel, Reading Enriches the Mind. Today, let's discuss immortality within the world of Cixin Liu. Chapter 1, The Wall of Death. Everyone encounters a wall on their journey through life. This wall stretches infinitely high above, infinitely long to the left and right. It stands before every person, regardless of wealth or poverty, humility or prominence. This wall is death, the sole true baseline set for human society by God or by nature. The commoner will meet it, and so too will emperors and kings. Everyone, within an order of magnitude of time, will eventually arrive before this wall. This is the most fundamental equality in human existence, an inescapable fate. Yet, one of the ultimate goals of technological development is to tear down this wall. The technology to achieve immortality, theoretically speaking, is not beyond our reach. Chapter 2, 50 Years, the First Rung. In an essay published in 2010, science fiction author Cixin Liu proposed an inspiring idea. If immortality is achieved 5 centuries from now, you don't need to live another 500 years. You only need to live another 50. He depicted the journey for our generation toward immortality as a ladder with 4 rungs. The first rung begins right now. All you need to do is persevere. To live for another 50 years, don't find health maintenance troublesome. Don't reject a healthy lifestyle. This isn't merely about sacrificing many pleasures for a few insignificant extra years. The key is, each extra year you live is one more chance. One step missed means missing 10,000 steps. Do not die just one step away from the ladder of immortality, because in 50 years, you will step onto the second rung. Chapter 3, Crossing Time. The second rung. The second rung is built upon 2 technologies on the verge of realization: human hibernation and cloning technology. Hibernation technology is already at the forefront of breakthroughs, entirely possible to achieve within 50 years. Using hibernation, you could live 100 years at the cost of only a decade of your lifespan, as depicted by Cixin Liu in novels like The Three-Body Problem. The advent of hibernation technology will grant humanity the ability to cross time for the first time. It is humanity's first upright walk in the dimension of time. Cloning technology involves using one's own genes to clone organs, or even a complete body, once it matures to a certain age. It can be used to replace aging organs, or to transplant one's own brain. This concept has appeared in several sci-fi films like The Island. The technical difficulty isn't immense. The biggest obstacles stem from legal and ethical issues. Those cloned bodies are also 100% living beings. When these 2 technologies emerge, they will inevitably be privileges for a minority. The ticket to immortality will certainly be costly. Therefore, during the first 50 years, working hard and saving money are necessary preparations. Either of these 2 technologies could potentially allow you to cross a century. If both emerge simultaneously, they could enable you to cross 3 to 5 centuries. At that point, you will have stepped onto the third rung of the ladder. Chapter 4, Mind Uploading. The third rung. The technological foundation of the third rung is brain information extraction. The information to be extracted here is not just memory, but the entirety of consciousness, equivalent to extracting a person's complete personality. The brain stores information and facilitates thought through the interconnection of a vast number of neurons. As long as we gain a profound understanding of the patterns and mechanisms of this interconnection, we can extract all the information from the brain. This is fundamentally no different from reading data from a hard drive, and is theoretically entirely possible. Cixin Liu's debut science fiction novel, China 2185, is built upon this premise. In the novel, the brain of the great leader, the founder of the Republic, is scanned and his consciousness extracted, resurrecting him, and enabling a cross-era dialogue. Once your complete consciousness can be extracted and stored, you can easily cross 500 years, 1,000 years, or even longer. This brings you to the 4th and final rung of the ladder. Chapter 5, Mind Downloading. The 4th rung. The technological foundation of the 4th rung is brain information injection, implanting the brain information extracted in the 3rd stage into a brand new brain. This concept appears in many sci-fi works, such as the cortical stack technology in Altered Carbon. The difficulty level of this technology is an order of magnitude higher than brain information extraction, but it remains theoretically achievable once this technology becomes reality. People could even regularly back up their brain information. If this life should one day come to an end, they could use a backup to restore a version of themselves from any period in a new body and brain. This body could be a clone of their own genes, derived from someone else's genes, or even a mechanical shell. In a more extreme scenario, the same personality could be downloaded simultaneously into 2 or more bodies. If you find this incredible, remember, this is the world 500 or 1,000 years from now. Consider what the world was like 1,000 years ago during the Middle Ages, and it becomes easier to accept this possibility. At this point, humanity has completely conquered death. Immortality is achieved. Chapter 6. After immortality, some might ask, why do humans need immortality? Isn't 70 or 80 years enough? Wouldn't living that long be tiring? If you truly achieved immortality, perhaps you wouldn't need to live so tiredly. Your body would be eternally young, free from the pain of disease and aging. You wouldn't need to strive desperately for success in specific phases of life, wouldn't need to worry about wrong life choices or missed opportunities. You could re-enter school anytime to learn any knowledge you desire, spend entire years traveling and studying, experiencing the beauty of the world. You wouldn't need to save money to buy a house, wouldn't need to be anxious about promotions and raises, wouldn't be pressured by parents to marry or have children. You could witness future technologies as wondrous as science fiction. See what the year 2077 or 2185 really looks like, and witness the conclusion of all those someday series. You could live to see humanity build Dyson spheres or colonize other planets. Witness the spectacular sight of the sun expanding into a red giant and engulfing Earth 4 billion years from now, behold supernova explosions, and perhaps even live to see the end of the universe. But the path to immortality is not merely obstructed by technological hurdles. Chapter 7. A New Inequality. The challenges related to social politics and equity may be even more formidable than the technology itself. In the past and present, inequalities in wealth, power, and status were merely differences between human beings. However, when some achieve immortality and others cannot, this inequality becomes a chasm between humans and gods. When certain fortunate individuals step onto the first rung of this journey, inequality in the face of death emerges for the first time in human history. When some wealthy, lucky ones embark on the path to immortality in dreamless sleep, the billions of envious eyes among the masses left behind are a chilling sight. Consider hibernation. If it were possible, few would choose to remain in the present. Once this technology is industrialized, a portion of humanity will depart for a future paradise, while the rest can only build that paradise for them in the mundane reality of the present. Who would willingly be such a stepping stone? Before universal immortality is achieved, how will human society navigate this period of new inequality? When some gain the opportunity for immortality first, it will inevitably lead to unforeseeable social catastrophes, and banning this technology would be an equally immense catastrophe. Both concern the supreme right to exist. Epilogue. The choice. Witnessing how human society chooses in the face of such a grand proposition and fatal temptation as immortality is, in itself, as exciting and thrilling as a science fiction novel. For this reason, IVE decided to focus on living well for the next 50 years first.